All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Wow. Well, Happy New Year. It has been a very long time coming, but I can confidently say I'm in the best place of my entire life. Right now, in this moment. The amount of gratitude that I feel, and I say this all the time, it's really beyond words. This year has been the most transformative year of my entire life in 2023. And at 34 years old, I still feel like I'm just getting started. It's really crazy when you think just how long some things take. And when I think back to when I was really young, at 13, when my goal was to be the biggest band in the world, and to think about the journey that I've been on since then, man. So much has changed. You know, it's funny when you have this dream or plan for your life, and they say that we plan and God laughs. I really thought I knew what I wanted. I had it all mapped out in my head. My band would get signed, I would tour the world and be a rock star. Then maybe after my band was, done doing its thing, then I would have a big solo career. Yeah. I obviously still have dreams of doing the music thing that big, but again, I can confidently say that I feel more blessed, more fulfilled, more excited doing what I'm doing now than music ever gave me. But that doesn't mean that music is not at the very core of who I am as a person. It's interesting how music did come in my life though. At probably like 5 to 7, was at a school where they had violin, and I took it really seriously, even when I was really young. But then when I moved past violin on the guitar and piano, no one had to tell me to play my guitar or play my piano. And my mom used to say I was always just kind of like an ADD kid, singing all the time. And it was really like music chose me. And speaking about being chosen, the biggest reason my life is where it is right now is because earlier this year, I finally let go. And I really decided to let God be in control. But I think I was chosen a long time ago. It says we are God's chosen people. But even though God may choose us, we still have to choose Him. It is a choice to get up and choose to walk His path and not your own. And the reason my life is finally starting to become what I imagine the feelings of living in my purpose would be like, because I've chosen to be obedient to Him and His word. So I am in my house right now, all by myself. Relationships wise, I've gone through a lot this past year. I was in a relationship with someone who used to live in this house, I had someone who I thought was gonna be a very good friend live in this house. And really, no matter what I wanted, and no matter what I did, those relationships just were not meant to work out. And I think back to all the relationships and all the friendships that I've gone through my entire life. Most of them didn't work out. But the funny thing is this: if I didn't go through all those relationships, I would have no music to write about. And so it's an interesting thing with music, at least for me. Music has always been therapy for me. It's always been a journal entry to a tune, to a melody. There's a Basquiat quote that I heard the other day, which I really just love so much. Art is how we decorate space, and music is how we decorate time. And man, what a blessing music has been to my life, and what a blessing it is to so many of us. Music to me, in its purest form, is one of the most divine things in existence. The harmonious mathematical frequencies that we call sound or vibration have been here since the dawn of time. And if you go back and read the first chapter of Genesis, God said, "Let there be light," which means that when he said, "Let there be light," all the frequencies that we know that exist in music today were created in an instant, in that moment. Wow. My music has always been my personal way to cope with all the pain I went through when I was younger. I didn't grow up with a father. I didn't hang out with the right crowd. I remember being saved since I was really young, but knowing and believing that God is real is very different from actually living in accordance with that. And it took me pretty much 32 years to figure that out. But once I did, man, everything changed. And so I'm making this video tonight on this first day of 2024 as, first off, just kind of a milestone of where I am. I still have black paint on my hands from setting this whole thing up today so I could do this. I've been up since like 6 a.m. today. But I wanted to try to do my absolute best to give you guys my best advice from everything I've learned, especially this past year. I don't really have a list. Obviously, I have no script, but I'm gonna do my absolute best from my heart to give you guys as much value as I can in this video and in all the videos and content that will follow this. I have nothing holding me back, nothing dragging me down, no excuses. I know that I am here on this earth to help you, whoever you are. You are loved, you are creative, and you were put here for a purpose. And that ultimate purpose is to help people in only the way that you can. You know, before I get into this list, I guess, my band in the past was called Early States. We made a lot of music between about 2007 and 2012. But none of that music ever came out because we got signed to a record deal when I was about 19. It didn't end up working out. And then we lost pretty much all the music we made. And I don't mean lost, but I mean we couldn't do anything with it. And so between the EP that we got signed by, or signed with, and then about 16 other songs, never came out. My friend Sean, who I had the band with, he moved to LA, changed the band name, did a little bit more, but basically it all fizzled out before I moved to Las Vegas in 2015. And I think back at all that time and all that work that we did to never really have an official release or an album come out is crazy. It's crazy to think about that. You know, the bands I wanted to be like were Coldplay, Radiohead, Muse, these big world bands. I wanted to go tour the world. I wanted to do that. I wanted to have an album, but I didn't get it. And I had the taste of it so young. 19, signed to a major label. 2009. But I say all this to remind you of why we are here, which is to serve others. And so on Christmas of 2023, this last year now, I put out an album of 24 songs, technically 25, because there's a different version of one, for this one reason. A guy named Kyle, he hit me up on Facebook Messenger and asked me where he could listen to one of our old songs in answer. He basically told me that the song saved his life. It helped his friend with addiction. It brought them closer together. He told me it made him not feel alone. And I have known that my music has helped people, but this time it was different. My music has always come from pain. At least 98% of it has. And if I have any really skill or talent that God's given me, it's the ability to translate without a filter my raw emotion and pain through my voice and into lyrics and into a song. But that music's not for me, even though I enjoy it. I like the music I've made, but it's not for me. It's for you. It's for every single person out there. It's for people like Kyle. And so when this man told me that one of my songs saved his life, that's serious. A friend of mine from high school, a guy named Devin Wiley, just recently died. He was a star, one of the best looking guys you could ever meet, always positive, one of the most popular guys in school, star in the football team. Played in college, then was drafted into the NFL. And after being traded to a bunch of teams, it just never really worked out. But he was a musician too. He played guitar. And this guy's mom, Lori, also just happens to be one of my mom's best friends. And she hasn't been doing well. And he was her caretaker for a little bit. And my mom had said, you know, you should reach out to Devin. But I just thought about him and I was like, there's no way it could be this bad. There's just no way. And then about a month ago, heard that he overdosed, and most likely from something laced with fentanyl, and he passed away. Maybe I could have tried to get a hold of him more or done something that could have helped, but I can't take that blame, and neither can anybody else. But the fact is that we can have an effect on others. And the truth is that we do every single day. And there are decisions that you're gonna make that could potentially save a life or take one. You never know. Maybe just smiling at someone, maybe that was the smile that they just needed. And maybe it just made their entire day better. Or maybe you're rude to someone or cut them off. Maybe that was just the final straw for them. But I put out those songs regardless of what happens legally or anything. I don't care. I hope someone from the past comes after me about it so I can talk about it again just like this. Those songs saved someone's life, and I was not gonna let them rot on my computer for another day. But I say all that to say this: you are here to serve and help someone. That is what our purpose is. That is what is most pleasing to God. You know, I think about King Solomon, and this is something that one of my favorite entrepreneurs says, Myron Golden, is that when God woke Solomon up and asked him, "What do you want?" he asked for wisdom. So simply my prayer lately has been this, and I hope it's yours as well. God, grant me the wisdom to be able to serve the people I am meant to serve in a way that pleases you. So how do we do that? And what have I learned? Well, first, I've learned that you might have a plan for your life, and you might think that you know what's best for you, but sometimes you don't. But the coolest thing is this: what's actually the best for you might not look anything like you ever imagined. But what's even cooler is it actually feels better than you could have ever imagined. And that's how I feel right now. I never thought I'd be a coach for artists. I never thought I'd go into branding for business owners, but I absolutely love what I do. And there is a small fire burning inside of me that will come back to music. But I feel like my mission and my purpose on this earth is a lot bigger than making some songs and playing those songs. It's about helping people find their purpose and building a business and building a mission around that purpose. So I think my biggest lesson has always been patience. How long are you willing to wait? What are you willing to go through? How much pain are you willing to endure? When the worst thing happens to you in life, you only have two options. You keep going or you give up. But if you keep going, the choice has to be this. You have to decide that whatever bad thing happened to you is the best thing that could have ever happened to you, or you give up and you let that thing ruin you. And how many people do you know that you see that let that thing ruin them? Don't let that thing ruin you. Don't listen to what anyone else says about this terrible thing that happened to you. You get to decide that it's good, no matter how bad someone says it is. And sometimes we need to get to the rock bottom, because from there, the only place to go is up. Do not let any person, any situation jade you, even if every single person in your life has screwed you over. Do not let that jade you. Because if you bring that energy to the next person that you meet, you could ruin something that could be truly amazing. Give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove you otherwise. Trust people completely until they break your trust, but still always be forgiving. But I do agree with fool me twice. And sometimes people do not deserve a third chance. And sometimes you have to cut people off and you got to move on with your life. Doesn't mean you shouldn't pray for them or wish them well. But if someone isn't helping you grow and encouraging you and supporting you to be the person you're truly supposed to be, it's okay to let them go. Do everything in your power to be healthy, to eat right, to exercise, to take care of yourself, to get good sleep. Be extremely intentional with your time. Focus on intention and not distraction. It is better to be alone than around people who bring you down. Discipline is everything. Saying no to others is saying yes to yourself. Know your value. Don't just give away all of your time and energy to people who don't appreciate it. I kind of want to end on this. If you have a vision, no one has to see it but you. And if your vision is truly big, people are not going to understand you. And a lot of people are not going to like you. So do not set out to be liked. That also means a lot of people are not going to relate to you. And in a big way, you are going to be lonely. And if I didn't have a strong relationship with God, I would be extremely lonely. But now I really don't ever feel alone. And I think that's why I was in so many wrong relationships for so long. It's because there was a hole in my heart that I was trying to fill with everything else. And there was only one thing that could actually fill it. It's a relationship with Jesus Christ. 2024 is a massive year of opportunity. If on New Year's Eve of 2025, you are still broke, depressed, working a job you don't like, in a situation that you hate, it is your fault. There will be no one to blame but yourself. You must take 100% responsibility for your life and for your actions. Yes, this world's crazy, but there is more opportunity now than there has ever been. Learn about finances, learn about business, learn about sales, be a student. Try to surround yourself with people who can teach you things that are actually valuable. The people who are the most successful in this world don't necessarily always work harder. They just know the right things to work on. I kind of came up with something the other day that I really like. If your dreams and goals are on the other side of a locked door, you can lean on it all you want. You can push it, you can kick it, and maybe at some point it might open. But most of the time, no matter how hard you push or how hard you lean in, if you don't have the keys, you're not getting in. The keys are skills, our knowledge, our education, our coaching, our mentorship. Find the people who have the keys that will get you into the doors that you've been seeking. We've all tried to figure it out ourselves, but I know how that goes. And I know that you probably know how that goes too. I want to end this video by encouraging you. You are loved. You have a purpose. The support that you need is out there, but you have to make the choice to seek it out, to develop discipline, and to take your mind out of the matrix, out of the programming. Yeah, it's really hard. Every single thing around us is there to make us comfortable, docile, and distracted. But the more you can be aware of that fact, the better off you will be. Wherever you are, whoever you are, I hope this finds you well. I wish nothing but the best for you. And as I said at the beginning, my intention with my life, with this content, and with my mission and purpose is to help you succeed and to fulfill the true purpose that God put inside of you a long time ago. Much love. God bless. I'll see you soon. Happy New Year.